power outage after strong winds. Moving into the world of sports, EPL, Awuni scores first goal of the season in Forest's win at Brentford. CAF CL or Larry Waju reflect on Rivers United's draw with Zambian side Dynamos. And those are the major headlines as brought to you this morning. It was compiled and edited by Abiodun Akinwumi. For sponsorship or advert placement, kindly contact our sales and marketing office on 091 2929 4332 or 0907722 7120. Coming up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have an in-depth analysis on some of the topical stories making the rounds. Don't forget, you can follow us by logging on to any of the Diamond FM online platforms at www.diamondfm.net. That's our website, or keep up to date with us via all our social media pages. I am BISOLA ODUWOLE SUILEMAN. The Diamond Breakfast Show commences shortly. Do stay with us.
Now playing.
Money don't buy you happiness.
Turning up the sparkle to Diamond FM.
Nothing but the biggest hit. Feel the vibe. Feel the shine. Diamond FM.
Hear the difference.
From the heart of the city. Diamond FM. Shining supreme.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at the smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
For my business too much. They just too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Why not kill us for Nigeria? Please, so help us back them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice the new democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
A very beautiful morning to you once again. You're tuned in and listening to Diamond 88.7 FM, your shining supreme station. It's a beautiful Monday morning. It's good to have you join us on this wonderful program, the Diamond Breakfast Show. This is a current affairs program. We talk about issues affecting the general public, issues affecting Nigerians. We dissect the stories in the studio and also open up our platforms to you to also contribute your quota and make your voices heard on the program. We accept public opinions. However, your opinions should be devoid of any form of, name calling, insult. We should go straight to the point and address the issues accordingly. It's another beautiful day. My name is BISOLA ODUWOLE SUILEMAN. And this morning, we'll be talking about a diverse set of stories this beautiful morning. The first one has to do with constituency project or activities carried out by members of the House of Representatives. But this particular one has to do with a member of the House of Representatives for Calabar, representing Odukpani Federal Constituency of Cross River State. We'll talk about a project he recently embarked on. He distributed items to people in that particular constituency, and there's been a lot of uproar regarding this particular incident. We will talk about that this morning, and then from there we'll take a look at the 2027 elections. There have been reports suggesting that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is quietly assessing northern Christian leaders and is looking to take Shettima, that's the Vice President Kashim Shettima, off the list as his running mate. These are speculations in the media. We'll be taking a look at the implication of this. We'll be taking a look at why there are issues surrounding the Muslim ticket, why we must have a balance when it comes to politics here in Nigeria. And then from there, we'll quickly look at our national grid. Last week, we experienced another collapse of the national grid. We'll look at the actions and what the government is doing now, what they intend to do to curb against this, and a couple of other issues as well that arose from that particular incident. We'll talk about that this morning. And to do the analysis with me, I have a public affairs analyst. I have a social commentator right in the building. And it's been a while since, he joined me on the program. I have Comrade Bello Onikon this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Aja. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Quarance.
Good morning.
I told you earlier that I'm up with the best this morning. I'm delighted.
We're glad to have you as
it's been
well.
A while. Thank
All
you.
right. Let's get to the business of the day. And the first story has to do with Honorable Basi Akiba, the House of Representatives member for Calabar and Odupani Federal Constituency in Cross River State, who distributed cassava items to constituents in Okoyong as part of an empowerment effort to support farming. Each beneficiary received 10 cassava stems. The initiative, however, sparked significant criticism. Many residents argued that the distribution was insufficient, 10 stems per person. Some say, it cannot go a long way. What should I do with this? But okay, we're taking it because we still want to be in the good books, such that when other, juicy things come from the government, they can remember us and not say, this way the people rejected it. Some said that's why they received it. Some also said, it's just to make a noise in the media, that it's a symbolic gesture, and it is poorly timed, that this is the dry season. What do you expect us to do with this at this point? Some even complained that these cassava stems have been kept for a long time and is now very dry. And, how do you expect people to handle this? While some are saying, this is something that we need. It's something that you can make use of. It's something useful. So why are you complaining about it? At least it did something. Now, some suggested that it may be politically motivated given its proximity to the upcoming elections. Some are also tying it to that. There are supporters who are saying, this person has done something. Can we appreciate it? What are your thoughts? Let's start from there.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again. Looking at the report is self-analytical, and having that background I have given, I'm sure a lot of listeners this morning will have been able to pitch their tent against any of these line of argument. First of all, distributing cassava stems as a form of empowerment, looking at the face of it, there's nothing wrong in it.
Okay.
Most especially as a lawmaker, you are expected to give what your constituents have requested for. And that is why our people have always been, asking them that once these people are elected, make sure that you write, you call them, you put up your requests. If they want to do any empowerment, these are the things they want to do. So let's assume that his constituents have requested. It's an assumption without confirmation that is part of their need. Now, if you are going by that assumption, we'll say maybe he's thinking along with his constituents. But where problems lie are the number. Because looking at the concept of empowerment connotes giving people ability, raising their confidence, ensuring that they're able to stand for themselves, make informed decisions, and also live meaningful life.
Okay.
Assuming you are a farmer, how many eaves can you go with 10 stems of cassava? You'll agree with me that it can never go to any length. So that itself is a pointer to the fact that it's not only ill-timed, it's a mockery of the concept of empowerment itself. mockery in the sense that the number is greatly insufficient, mockery in the sense of the timing. For some of us that have little experience in farming, we know that this is not the best time to give cassava stem. And when I read the report, some of them, actually discovered that project or that item is an initiative of Mr. President that should have been distributed long before now. When cassava was prime for planting. But this time around, nobody goes to farm and plant cassava as far as we had today. So, and then it's a mockery of the empowerment also, looking at, the noise that comes with it. Sometimes you want to give a gift. You yourself, that this gift is not something you make noise about. You do it underground. Let's imagine the rep just, asks some of his aid, go and give it to people that needs it, but not ensuring that kind of a thing gets to the media. So I'm so disappointed in that lawmaker, even though I'm not from that axis, but we need to make it clear because we also have, as of rep member, we have senators who will expect that when they are doing an empowerment, they should do an empowerment that have human face. This one does not have human face. Even if you have a goat at home, can you feed your goat with 10 stems of cassava for a day? No, it's entirely ridiculous.
All right, comrade, but some argue that it's better than doing nothing at all. Some say that, well, the cassava stems are small, but would you rather have him give a small group of people than, extend it to a larger? Maybe what was released to the honorable was not a lot, and he wanted it to go a long way.
Well, people that make that kind of statement, sometimes I think they are more political in their statements, saying that it's better to give something that are not giving anything. Imagine, let me use you as an example. You are a professional media journalist. Imagine I'm just leaving this studio and I'm handing over 200 naira to you. It's a gift, but it's an embarrassment. If I'm giving something, I should know what this particular person wants. You are giving individuals that you call them farmers or whatever they are, and you want to give them 10 stems of cassava. A dried one at that, at this season where it's going to be, useless to them. So anybody who is saying it's better to give something, dried cassava stems, 10 pieces of them, than giving nothing, such a person is either is political, his statement is politically motivated, or, is out of common sense. That's right. What I
Now, according to reports, it's been said that this cassava stems have been released since the federal government intervention has been, approved since last year.
Yes.
And, produce has been released to this lawmakers since last year. And it is just being released to the farmers now. And some are saying, this is looking like, they're doing it towards the political season, such that it's politically motivated. Do you think it is fair to think in that light?
Well,
seeing the fact that it's just being distributed now, this is 2026, and we know how the atmosphere is.
The 2027 elections are fast approaching. Like I said in other fora, that 2026 is a year of politics. In fact, in most of the states, governance have been relegated into the background. What you see now is politics. Look at what is happening in Kano, Rivers State, even in Kwara and several other states. Politics is now taking precedence. Fighting for survival. Who I'm going to be anointing? Am I going to return? Am I going to the Senate and all that? So if people think it's politically motivated, knowing fully well that it should have been distributed since last year, when, cassava planting was still very much around. Now, dry season, not the period to plant cassava, and you are coming up with that. If that is the case, people are right to suggest that. But if that is the case from that honorable member, I'm sorry to disappoint him that the items have worked against him rather than for him. So he has to even re-examine his aides, people who are working with him. Sometimes when you are occupying a particular office and you don't have people who tell you the hard facts, who, justify the confidence reports in them, not just the sycophant that will tell you, no, you are doing right, you are this, you are that. So the honorable member needs to re-examine people who are working with him, because what he has done he has shot himself in the leg, and that is totally condemnable from whoever is doing that at this critical point in time.
All right, let's take some reactions right here. You can call us on 0913-655-6952. What are your thoughts on this particular project embarked upon by a honorable representing Calabar and Odukbani Federal Constituency in Rivers State? Well, what do you think about it? When did you come across the story? When you read it, what were your first thoughts? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is calling from Namibia.
All right, good to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Those of us who used to join, or what do I call it, or who have attended countries, used to say some politicians are Nigerian, but they are not part of. And that is the truth. There was famous even if you are given terms of whatever, no matter how strong. This is the longest time to settle. And the rainy season just stopped. So you can see what is happening. And government is giving them. We have one House of Reps member in Osun. It came out to say that since the assumption of President Tinubu, the least House of Reps member is getting is 1 billion naira for this constituency today. Is it cassava you buy, you just 10 and give? So that's the problem. We continue to pay.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bamidele. Let's not forget that this is part of a federal government intervention program where cassava stem and fertilizers were approved by the president last year. Let's be clear on that. 0913-655-6952. Send a message on WhatsApp on 0913-655-6864. This one says, good morning, BISOLA, the DBS master. Good morning, our guests. Constituency project is a scam. That is one of the bad legacies Obasanjo left behind. Even though it was meant to encourage farming, it was done more or less with humiliating and embarrassing motive. Politicians are what they are. I hope God will help in changing their mindsets. That's from Elder Yemi Ashaju. And next one says, good morning in the studio. It's a real slap in the face of our leader, cassava stem of all other projects. That's from JC Obaso. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Uncle.
Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, ma. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, ma.
All these projects, well, since this is different from the beginning, so we need prayer and God assist, and our leaders to know as much as more possible. So utilize money into necessary places. This is not a planting season. It's not a planting time. But they should please try as much as possible. So know that Nigerians, we're good in farming something. So, but they're supposed to put money on agriculture so that there will be sufficient food. But see, we continue to pray for our leaders.
All right, thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. 0913-655-6952. 0913-655-6952. Send a message on WhatsApp on 0913-655-6864. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Thank you very much.
What's your name, sir?
Mr. Jimba.
Mr. Jimba. All right, go ahead.
Sometimes giving nothing is better than giving something that will work against your image. He has a conscience. He was supposed to know that that gift was a symbolic gift. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Giving nothing is better than giving what could tarnish your image. All right. This one says, good morning, the host and the guest. Whether a presidency initiative or whatever, it is pointless even in the rainy season when lack of mechanized farming has been the bane of agricultural productivity in the country. Initiatives like irrigation farming in this dry season should have been the kind of empowerment, not this shameful outing on the part of the rep. That's from Richford from Jerry. Let's take one more call and then we quickly touch on the second story. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
My name is Kisilayo from Taiwan.
Welcome to the program. Go ahead, ma'am.
It is only God that can save us in this our country. There is time for everything under the sky. Says the Bible, Ecclesiastes 3:30. Why are they doing all this? Giving 10 cents of cassava during the dry season, let them take it to their own or their own people and go and give it to them instead of saying they are giving it to people to help them. On what? On what ground? May God help us in this our country.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for calling. 0913-655-6864. Keep your messages coming in via WhatsApp. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, your shiny supreme station. My name is BISOLA ODUWOLE SUILEMAN, and I still have with me Comrade Bello Onikor right here in the studio. Now, from agriculture and constituency project, we quickly move on to politics this morning. My guest said earlier that right now we're no longer focusing on governance, and it's the political season. The government is doing more of politics than governance at this point. Well, let's look at, politics for a little bit. There are reports of, potential change in President Tinubu's 2027 ticket. These are still, speculations in the media. We're getting reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is quietly assessing northern Christian leaders, including names like Honorable Yakubu Dogara, General Christopher Musa retired, and a couple of others as well, to be his running mate in the 2027 elections. This is actually due to, a controversy that happened recently where rumors intensified that after Vice President Kashim Shettima's photo was omitted from a party banner at an APC event, sparking speculations that his position might be in jeopardy ahead of 2027 elections. Key APC stakeholders, including the North Central All Progressives Congress Forum, have publicly rejected the plans to replace Shettima, calling it a grave political miscalculation that could weaken Tinubu's re-election prospect and party unity. They argue that the North currently lacks a Christian candidate with the national support and organizational strength to, equal Shettima's value at this point. Let's take a look at it from that angle. This speculation has been in the media. We had it, last week, and then, it's still a rumor that is going on. What are your thoughts about this? And then from there, we look at, why the possibility of that happening and how it could affect the elections, the coming elections, the atmosphere towards the elections and all of that.
Well, thank you very much. Image is unique and sometimes is everything that you do. I want to cast our mind back into the United States of America's president outburst last month or so, alleging that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, that is going to stop at nothing to rescue them. Before then, in 2023, when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed was primed for the contest, it was very clear that at then the best thing he could do was to pick somebody who is more accepted in the North. Okay. And to do that at that time, Shettima take the boss, despite being a Muslim. Although there were opera, there are Muslim people. But of course, he flight that and they won election. And having won the election, the next battle is how to, ensure that the country remained united and not divided along religious lines. Either wrongly or rightfully so, President Trump has clearly, plead on that part. And you see a lot of Christian leaders are also coming up to say they are not represented in the presidency. That's why this and that is happening to them. So in the area of politics, it might be a good option. People are calling for stability. That is retaining Shettima. But sometimes it's more than ensuring stability. Sometimes you have a winning team. You still go ahead to change one or two things. So the APC as a party and President Tinubu having embarking on consolidating his electoral victory. Remember, even the election that he won, he knew that it was a narrow escape. So that is why from the one, after he was sworn in, he began to consolidate. to ensure that more states who are won by the opposition are now returning to APC. Okay. Rivers State is there, but whatever means President Tinubu has been able to capture Rivers State. Kano State is there, and a host of other state governors from the South, East, South, who have defected to the ruling party today. So if he's able to succeed in ensuring that consolidation, the next thing is for him to do a political calculation alignment that will give him, more respect in international political space.
Okay.
That he is now thinking of making Christians feel more included by ensuring that one of them is used as a running mate. Of course, he has that constitutional right and power. And for me, he has Borno State and possibly the Northeast under his belt already, where current Vice President comes from, and also the governor of Borno State, Awagana Zulu. Secondly, you want to agree with me that the Vice President is now being less popular. After the election, it was popular. Just before the election, ferocious speech here and there, but there were, certain issues that made him to go into the background. And what I see in Shetima is that somebody that is also ambitious. He tends to be the president based on his body language and some of his supporters. So if you have a president with somebody who is as ambitious as Shetima, you feel entirely not saved. So you want to look at somebody who is somehow soft, who can also be accepted just as Shetima or even more.
All right, comrade. Now, let me quickly cut you there. You just mentioned that, Shetima is an ambitious person, and he's somebody who also carries a lot of weight on the political scene. Now, don't you think that this could affect the president's chances if he's taken off that ticket for 2027?
Well, it can only affect...
Do you think these other people the president is considering might have that much power as well, might be able to garner as much, votes as the president would like?
I said it.
Or as Shetima could pull
that
from the
north.
north.
Only disadvantage that could happen is that stability. If stability is out of it, for instance, look at the choice of Yakubu Dogara from Bauchi State. That is also northeast. Bauchi is a state that, have some influence on other states that borders that northeast.
Okay.
It could be a good option as a replacement for Shetima. Now, looking at the choice of General Christopher Musa, retired, as somebody that has also been mentioned, the current chief of defense staff, somebody who has spent his entire career in the army, who also have a very good network, and in Christendom, is also a very popular figure.
Okay.
Looking at Matthew Hassan Kuka from Kaduna, State, he has been representing the interests of Christians for, quite a number of years. He's also could garner Mr. President, a lot of support. But the best option I am considering, or I think the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu could look at, is the Plateau State Governor. Caleb Mutfwang. Is somebody, I think he's a pastor or something like that, very close to the heart of people from the Plateau State, and he's from the North Central.
Okay.
So there is nothing wrong if the Northeast is asked to step aside for somebody from North Central to come in.
Okay.
Because North Central have also been a region that feel, neglected somewhat. So if one of them, who is also Christian, and we look at the North, states who are somehow dominated or who have the larger percentage of Christians are from the North Central. So if somebody from that axis is picked, so I feel it's going to enhance the performance in the area of politics of Mr. President, and also score him a great point in international outlook as a president who listens, who this time around intends to give Christians, a more sense of belonging, knowing fully well that in the area of politics, it appears that all the opposition parties have been weakened now. Most importantly, the People's Democratic Party.
Right.
So whatever, any of these options, particularly, Caleb Mutfwang could be the best for him if he eventually decided to drop Shetima for any of these.
All right, let's take some reactions right here. The phone line is buzzing. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sadiq. I'm calling from OKC.
All right, Sadiq. Go ahead, please.
I guess I said it all. In my own view, what I really just want to contribute is Shetima has contributed his own quota. And when the president chooses Shetima, I think the president was skeptical about the security. I mean, the security issue. That Shetima from that as can checkmate all these advantages. But in my own opinion, I think that has not been checkmated.
Okay.
So, and he really want to balance it up with another Christian because of the public outcry that Muslim ticket is not favoring the Christians. And right now, if you can choose, I think the guest has given us so many options. So it's not a new thing if the president drop Shetima and take another public figure.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for calling. Now, I want to quickly ask a question, and this has to do with the Muslim Christian ticket, balancing it along religious lines. Does it actually promote national unity, as we're set to believe? Does it help to promote national unity when we have,
for me it does.
But let's also not forget that these are not the only religions that we have in Nigeria.
But of course, it could be argued today, sometimes they say 55-45, sometimes they say 50-50, it's a very close to religions that we have.
Okay.
And that is why in most of the functions, sometimes say Christians start the prayer, Muslim doing the closing prayer and all that. We have never had any big occasion where, these two other religion, are also invited. So for me, I believe having a Christian is going to ensure national unity. You know why? If there's a big function now and the president is invited, maybe he's not around, the next person should be the vice president. When the vice president is sitting in the position of the president, then, it could be Christian functions, they also have the feel that the president is among them. Instead of sidestepping it and appointing another person, maybe he's looking for a Christian to represent.
All right.
So it's always good if you have a Muslim Christian ticket that will be flied in 2027.
All right, let's take a quick look. Hello, good morning.
Hello, well done.
Thank you. Good morning.
Professor Sayodele on the line.
Go ahead.
During the first campaign of Mr. President, he treats Christian by side. And the Christians, they fight for this. He's the first president that broke this rule. Yes. So, and it's not easy. It's a person that already entered the wet room. You want to remove him out. It's a baby child. The woman wants to take bread from his or her mouth. It's not easy. But with God, all things are possible. Mr. President should take it very well and put Christian back there. Yes. Well, we have.
All right. Thank you so much, Prophetess. Thank you for your reaction. 913-655-6952. Let's take one more call and then we go on a quick break. What are your thoughts about the speculations going on in the media about, Vice President Shetima being taken off the 2027 presidential ticket? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Mr. Isa from Ilori.
All right, Mr. Isa, go ahead.
Let me do the question there. It's almost surprising. Even those that are condemning in the last week are not suddenly changing. It will give a certain. I think there are the intention of those people. They just want the president to fail because they know the popularity of Shetima where it is. Those supporting now were not supporting in the first instance before. But I think those that are saying it should change him and give it to a Christian. Why was it not so in 2022? And their tone is now changing. Because I think they just want the president to fail. To me, if the president wants to fail, he should leave it as it is. They know how popular Shetima is now, and they know that Shetima can give the president the president, make the president in 2027, and that's why they are changing to now. They should give it to this, should give it to that.
Okay.
To me, should leave it.
Okay, so you do not support the president changing